The rain fell from a dark purple sky as Captain Ethan Cole walked across the broken battlefield. Smoke rolled from crashed ships. Strange machines burned with blue fire. The air smelled like metal and ash. His small rescue team had come to search for survivors after a terrible war between two alien kingdoms. They had been told to help anyone still alive, no matter which side they had fought for. Humans had stayed neutral during the war. They were known across the stars as traders, builders, and explorers. Very few races believed humans were dangerous. Even fewer believed there was anything special about the human body. They were all wrong. Ethan stepped over broken armor and bent down beside an injured soldier. The alien's breathing had already stopped. He quietly closed the soldier's eyes before moving on. His scanner suddenly gave a soft signal. Life sign detected, his chute computer said. Ethan turned toward a large piece of fallen stone. Under it, he saw silver armor covered in blood. A young alien woman was trapped beneath the heavy rock. She looked nothing like the soldiers around her. A shining crown rested beside her head. Her white hair spread across the black ground like flowing water. Her blue skin had almost turned pale. Her chest rose only a little with each weak breath. Ethan's eyes widened. "This isn't just anyone," he whispered. He pushed against the stone with all his strength. The rock slowly moved. His muscles burned, but finally the heavy piece rolled away. The young woman cried out softly. Large cuts covered her arms and chest. One side of her armor had been crushed. Blood flowed from deep wounds that no normal person could survive. His scanner flashed red. Critical condition. Estimated survival time, 4 minutes. Ethan quickly opened his medical kit. He sprayed healing foam over the wounds. Nothing happened. He injected emergency medicine. Still nothing. Her body was rejecting every treatment. The scanner beeped again. Unknown biology. Medical treatment ineffective. Ethan cursed under his breath. "No, stay with me." The young woman slowly opened glowing silver eyes. She looked at him with fear. "A human," she whispered. "Yes. They said humans would not come. We're here now." She smiled weakly. "I failed my people." "You haven't failed anyone. My kingdom is gone. You don't know that." She tried to laugh but coughed blood instead. "It hurts." Ethan gently held her hand. "I'm sorry." The moment his skin touched haze, something impossible happened. A warm golden light spread from Ethan's hand. The glowing energy flowed across the princess's body like soft sunlight. The deep cuts began closing. Broken bones slowly moved back into place. Blood stopped flowing. The scanner started making loud sounds. Unknown biological reaction detected. Ethan quickly pulled his hand away. The light disappeared. He stared in shock. The princess looked equally surprised. "My pain," she whispered. "It stopped." Ethan looked at his own hand. What just happened? He carefully touched her shoulder again. The golden light returned. This time it became brighter. The wounds healed even faster. Within seconds, the terrible cuts became small scars. The princess slowly sat up. She looked at her own hands. I was dying." Ethan nodded silently. "You healed me." "I don't know how." His rescue team arrived a few moments later. Lieutenant Sarah Morgan froze when she saw the princess standing. "Ethan, wasn't she almost dead?" "She was." Sarah looked at the medical scanner. "It says her injuries are gone." "I know." "How?" Ethan simply shook his head. "I have no idea." The princess stood slowly. Even after nearly dying, she moved with the grace of a queen. She bowed her head. "I am Princess Lyra of the Astian Empire." "Ethan Cole." She looked directly into his eyes. "You saved my life." "I only tried." "No." She gently took his hand again. "You truly saved me." The golden light appeared once more. Everyone around them gasped. One injured alien soldier nearby suddenly cried out. A wound on his leg began healing. The light had reached him too. Sarah stayed in disbelief. The energy spreads. Another wounded soldier stood up. Then another. Every injured person within several meters began recovering. No medicine had ever done anything like this. Word spread quickly. Within hours, ships from both alien kingdoms arrived. Generals, scientists, and doctors surrounded Ethan. Everyone wanted answers. One elderly scientist carefully studied the medical records. "This is impossible." Another nodded. "There is no technology creating this effect." Princess Lyra spoke calmly. "It comes from him." An angry general stepped forward. "Humans have hidden this power." Ethan frowned. "We've hidden nothing. I didn't even know this could happen." The scientists performed every test they could imagine. They scanned Ethan's blood, his bones, his cells, his DNA. Everything looked completely normal, until they compared it with alien biology. One scientist suddenly became silent. Then his eyes grew wide. "I found something." Everyone gathered around. "Our bodies produce microscopic repair cells." Ethan blinked. "So, they constantly repair damaged human tissue." "That's normal." "For humans, yes." The scientists looked around the room. "But your repair cells are alive." Everyone stared. "They don't only repair humans." Princess Lyra looked confused. "What do you mean?" The scientist continued. "When human skin touches another living body, some of these repair cells transfer." Sarah laughed. "That's impossible." "We thought so too." He enlarged the image. Tiny golden cells moved across the screen. They recognized damaged tissue and repair it. They ignore species. The room became completely silent. The scientist whispered one final sentence. "Human touch is alive." The discovery shocked the galaxy. For thousands of years, every civilization believed advanced machines were the greatest healers. They had built enormous hospitals, powerful medical robots, complex healing chambers. Yet the greatest healing ability had been quietly walking among them inside ordinary humans. News spread across hundreds of worlds. Some races celebrated. Others became frightened. If humans could heal with a touch, what else could they do? The Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. Leaders from every major civilization attended. Princess Lyra stood beside Ethan as his representative. An old council member looked at Ethan. "Human?" "Yes." "Can every member of your species do this?" "We don't know." Scientists had already tested thousands of volunteers. Every human produced healing cells. Some produced only a few. Others produced many. Ethan had more than anyone ever tested, nearly 100 times the average amount. One scientist believed stress and kindness somehow increased production. No one understood why. The council leader asked another question. "Can humans create weapons from these cells?" Ethan answered honestly. "We've never tried." The room became tense. Princess Lyra stepped forward. "I was there." Everyone looked toward her. "I watched Captain Ethan risk his own life for someone he had never met." She placed a hand over her heart. "He asked for nothing. He expected no reward. He simply wanted me to live." She looked around the chamber. "If humans wish to conquer us, they would not begin by saving enemies." Many leaders lowered their heads. The meeting ended peacefully. Instead of fearing humans, the council asked them for help. New healing centers were built across the galaxy. Human volunteers traveled everywhere. Children with terrible illnesses recovered. Old soldiers walked again. Victims of accidents survived. Hope spread faster than any ship. Ethan became famous. He hated the attention. He preferred helping quietly. Whenever reporters asked how he performed miracles, he always gave the same answer. "I don't perform miracles. I simply hold someone's hand." Princess Lyra often laughed when she heard that answer. Months passed. The Astian Empire slowly recovered from the war. Lyra officially became queen after her parents were confirmed dead. Her first act as queen surprised everyone. She invited humans to build the first shared medical academy between Oath and the Astian Empire. Doctors from dozens of races studied together. Instead of fighting wars, they fought disease. One evening, Ethan stood on a palace balcony looking at the stars. Lyra joined him. "You miss Earth." "A little. You can visit anytime." "I know." She smiled. "You still don't like being called a hero." "No. Why?" "Heroes sound perfect." "I'm not. I get scared. I make mistakes. I just try to help." Lyra looked at him quietly. That is exactly why you are one. Before Ethan could answer, alarms suddenly echoed across the city. A transport ship crashed outside the capital. Both rushed toward the landing zone. The ship had been carrying children from another world. Its engines exploded during landing. Many passengers were trapped. Fire spread everywhere. Rescue workers rushed inside. Ethan ignored the danger. He climbed through broken metal until he found a frightened little girl trapped beneath a seat. "It's okay," he said softly. "I've got you." She reached for him. The golden light appeared immediately. The burns on her arms faded. Her crying stopped. She smiled through tears. "It doesn't hurt anymore." Ethan carried her outside. People watching began cheering. But he wasn't finished. Again and again he entered the burning ship. Each time he carried someone out. Each time the healing light appeared. Princess Lyra organized rescue teams around him. Hours later, every survivor had been saved. Not a single child died. The story spread across the galaxy within hours. People no longer called humans explorers. They called them guardians. Years passed. Human healing centers existed on hundreds of worlds. Wars became less common. Enemies who once hated each other worked together to save lives. Children grew up hearing the story of the dying alien princess and the human captain whose touch closed impossible wounds. Scientists continued studying the healing cells. One day they finally discovered something unexpected. The cells became strongest when humans truly cared about the person they touched. Love, kindness, hope, compassion. These emotions increased healing power. Fear and hatred weakened it. Machines could copy many things. They could copy strength, speed, knowledge, but they could not copy genuine compassion. The greatest medicine in the galaxy had never been hidden inside laboratories. It had always been hidden inside the human heart. When Ethan heard the report, he smiled. "It makes sense." Sarah laughed. "You already knew." "I didn't know. But somehow, it feels right." Queen Lyra often visited Earth. She walked freely through human cities without guards. Children ran toward her asking for stories about space. She happily told them. One little boy once asked, "Is it true Captain Ethan saved your life?" She smiled warmly. "Yes." "Was he scared?" "Very." "Then why did he help you?" She looked toward the sky before answering. "Because humans have a strange habit." "What habit?" "They see someone in pain, and they reach out their hand before thinking about themselves." The boy smiled. "I want to be like that." "So do I," Lyra replied. Many decades later, Ethan grew old. His hair turned white. His hands became rough. But whenever he gently held someone's hand, the golden light still appeared. It never became weaker. One peaceful evening, he sat in a garden beside Queen Lyra, who aged much more slowly than humans. They watched children from many different species laughing together. No one cared which world they came from anymore. Lyra quietly asked, "Do you remember the battlefield?" "I remember. I thought I was about to die." "I thought so too." "You almost walked away." "I nearly missed your life sign." She smiled. "But you didn't." "No." She gently held his old hand. The familiar golden light softly surrounded them. Flowers nearby suddenly bloomed. Small injured birds resting in the trees flew away healthy. Neither of them seemed surprised anymore. Lyra whispered, "The galaxy believed power came from stronger weapons." Ethan nodded. They were wrong. They believed greatness came from ruling worlds. They were wrong again. She looked into his kind eyes. The greatest power was simply the courage to reach out and help a stranger. Ethan smiled at the children playing nearby. "Funny. What is? All I really did was refuse to let someone die alone." Far above them, thousands of peaceful worlds shined among the stars. Every medical academy still taught the same first lesson to every new student, no matter what species they belonged to. Technology can repair machines. Knowledge can repair mistakes. But compassion repairs civilizations. And long before the galaxy understood that truth, one ordinary human captain had knelt beside a dying alien princess, taken her trembling hand, and shown the universe that the strongest force was never fear, never war, and never power. It was a simple choice to care.